Hey, what is going on, Madden family? Today we are talking about tips to get you ready for Madden 20. And I say this is Madden 19, this is Madden 19. But so much of what really works and the basic skills you need to be good at Madden, they translate year over year. So I want to cover 5 things that you can do, and you can still practice this year. You can go back and practice them in any Madden. But if you can get better at these things, this is going to really help you on your path to being a better player at Madden 20. I'm not saying you're going to win a belt with these tips, but these are super important things. That the better you get at these, the better you will get at the game. So let's hop into it. I'm going to show you guys each of these things. We're going to be using practice mode, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you do find this helpful and you do think this is something you want to do, feel free, hit the like button, subscribe. A lot of you guys do know me as kind of like the MUT guy, but I didn't get my start doing MUT. I got my start, playing, I don't want to say competitively, but being competitive in Madden and then teaching people how to get better at the game. And that is sort of where everything's boosted up to. So let's get into this. You guys are going to hear my voice. So don't be scared when I disappear. All right, because I know everyone gets scared. Don't be scared. Let's get into this. Let's see the top 5 tips to help you get ready for Madden 20. Now, the first tip, and one of the most important things you can really be doing, is running the ball in the game. Now, not just, I've got to find the cheesiest or the glitchiest or the best run. That's nice. But what you really need to work on, honestly, is how you run the ball. So it's all about following your blockers, but the most important thing you can do with running the ball is being aware of the turbo button. Everyone loves to press turbo. They want to hit turbo. They want to go as fast as possible, but it's not ideal. You want to not use turbo as much as possible. You only want to use it once you get into breakaways area. So like you see right there, you're waiting, you're being patient. If you hit turbo too fast, what happens a lot of times is blockers will just disengage, right? And when a blocker disengages, it puts you in a pretty bad spot. Now, in a lot of outside runs, that doesn't matter so much. But it's when you start running in between the tackles, that's what you really, really want to see. So let's take a look at this replay here and just show you what I mean. And it's something that I've worked on a lot. So that even right here, I see this edge, and I'm still not using turbo because I don't want to just get block shed. But once I catch the edge, you hit a little bit of turbo, and then you can make your move, skill move, whatever it may be. But being careful and being cognizant of not using turbo too much behind the line is key, and it will keep you on your feet much longer than otherwise. And it really is super important. If you want to be a better runner at the game, it's the first thing you can do. So definitely take this, go into practice mode, take it online when you play games, and just be very aware of it and do your best to avoid using turbo. And that way you can slide in between these little tiny holes, and defenders won't, arm tackle you nearly as much. Our second tip here for preparing for Madden 20 is going to be pocket presence. Again, this is something that you can actually just learn and get better at. When you have happy feet within the pocket of when you're passing the ball, bad things happen. Being aware and really only stepping forward and backwards, and understanding, not stepping too far back, but just making sure you have a nice clean pocket is going to go a long way to making you a better player. If you happen to be in the pocket, a lot of people get happy feet where they start to roll, and then it's not always going to hurt you, but having a better presence, standing in the pocket, stepping up in the pocket when needed, just makes things a lot better. In my opinion, it's such a trait. If you guys ever watch competitive Madden, it's one of the things that they do so well, so well, and it is something that the best players in the world are masters at. Players like Dubby, Dreeny, Kiv, Skimbo, those guys are probably names you've heard. Watching them sit in the pocket, not roll around, not run away from stuff, it just does wonders. Because as you start to wander outside of the pocket, you start to move a little more left, a little more right, what happens is Defensive linemen start to disengage. You start to run into your own blockers. That is bad. So again, you can do this in practice mode if you really want, but for me personally, taking this concept into a live game is definitely the move. It's definitely something you want to do. Work on this, practice it. This, just imagine if you could avoid getting sacked 1 or 2 less times per game, how helpful that really could be. Just think about that. The third thing we want to work on before Madden 20 is adjustments. Now this is, it sounds basic, and it really is, but there's so much you can do from it. So I'm going to go into a formation like dollar, a very DB heavy formation that is always very popular in the beginning of the year, and we're just going to work with it here with cover 3 sky press, and we're just going to pick just a gun formation. What's a good play? PA crossers. Everybody loves PA crossers, right? So what I mean by adjusting, a lot of times it's using crossmans or shading your coverage or changing your zones, right? So one big thing that really helped a lot of people this year is changing your outside zones into outside quarters. Well, how do you do that? You would hit Y twice or triangle twice, and then you would be able to pick your defender. So in this case, let's say Desmond Trufant, he is B. I would pick then an outside quarter by hitting my right stick to the left, and now he's an outside quarter. And then let's say maybe I would shade my coverage down right here and give me hard flats. And then I would probably do the same outside quarter there on the left side of the screen as well. Our coverage already at this point is so much better, and it's going to guard against the crossing route so much better. But I'm not necessarily telling you how to guard PA crossers, but what you want to work on is learn how to adjust. Learn your hot links, right? If you hit X twice, it's going to bring up these adjustments, right? If you hit Y, it's going to bring up your DBs, right? If you hit LB or L1, it's going to bring up your defensive line. And if you hit RB or R1, it's going to bring up your linebackers. From here, you can do all the adjustments you want and do them fast. And as you practice them, you can get really good at them, where you can start to man people up. So let's reset our play here. We're in cover 3, right? So I'm going to set up all these adjustments that we did right here. And let's say I want to use this guy instead. So now we've got our outside quarters. We're shaded down. We're shaded out. Doesn't really matter what we're doing here. But again, this is something you want to work on. Whichever formations you happen to be comfortable with, it's definitely the right call. We see here that it was not open. It was not open, right? But again, this is about mastering your adjustments and mastering the quick adjustments. You don't want to be clicking around making adjustments, because the more you do that, it's just a lot slower. It's a lot slower, right? So when you want to do something to your defensive line, you want to spread them, you can do it quickly. If you want to throw a defender into a spy, you can. You could do something like this. So all of a sudden now we're doing pretty detailed adjustments. Now I'm not saying that this is a great adjustment, but taking this and learning how to do this on the fly is huge for your defense. And again, just take this into practice mode. Take it online. Learn how to do this. If you can learn how to do this before Madden 20, you're going to put yourself in a much better spot 100% of the time. And look at that. PA crosses, it's just covered. It's just covered. The next thing we want to cover here today for getting ready for Madden 20 is usering. Now, it has been said that it's going to be a little more difficult, and that is fine. That's good. So you're going to have to get better at it. Good usering isn't always about forcing or getting an interception, right? People love the user pick, right? Everyone loves that idea. But a good user is about play recognition as much as anything else that you can really do. And that is going to take a lot of time. But what you're going to have to be prepared with, and you might want to just start doing it now exactly, is not try to lurk so far underneath routes, because we have heard that is going to be a lot harder to do, especially with linebackers in Madden 20. So you're going to want to cover things a little bit better yourself instead of leaving things just open. So I just picked random play here. I have no idea what they're really going to run, but it is the point of when you're using someone on every play. You need to know who you're using, know what your assignment should be based on all the other adjustments that you had just made previously. so you can understand the best place you need to be, who you need to cover. It is all about play recognition. That's all it is. And being able to get to the spot. You need to know how fast the player is that you are using. And ideally, honestly, how fast the players are on the field that you are going up against. If you can learn that, you know how far you may need to lead out in front of a route if you happen to see a slant coming across. So let's say right here, Devin Funchess is running a slant. I know he's not the fastest, right? So let's just say right here, this is my adjustment. I'm thinking I need to take Olsen up the seam, or Funchess if he comes this way, because he's just a little further outside. So that's going to be my goal. I don't know what the play is, but I would hop up on Olsen there and come back down to Funchess. Now they scored, whatever, it doesn't matter. But that's the point. Go in and learn this. But because of the change happened in Madden 20, when you are covering routes, cover them a little bit better. Try not to just lurk this little box right here 5 yards, because that's not going to work anymore. And you're going to be in a much better spot in Madden 20 if you're already doing it the right way. Alright, and our last tip today. Now it sounds simple. You guys are going to think that this sounds dumb. But from me personally, you can't get frustrated. If you can bottle that frustration up and get past it, have a short memory, you're going to play the game of Madden so much better. When the game gets in your head, it's really, really hard to play well. Not everyone plays well when they're angry. So it's something you need to really keep in mind, that when something bad happens to you, whether it was fluke or garbage or trash, it's over. The play is over. It doesn't matter anymore. Okay? The quicker you get that into your head and can move on and get past the bad aggressive catcher. I can't believe I fumbled 3 times and they haven't fumbled at all. Cool. The game is still going on. You can't change it. So learn to get past it and just put it behind you. And again, I know it sounds bad, but that's truly an elite skill to be able to do that. And every good player, I feel like, does it just perfectly well, where their memory is so short, they just keep going, they keep fighting, they never give up. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If this was of any help, please do, again, hit the like button, subscribe. Man, I'm tired, but I'm out. Peace.